you definitely know this boy. Others are interviewing for jobs, but he is picking which company to be CEO. This company promised a monthly salary of $400,000, that company promised general manager to start, and the last one is even more vicious, promised to give him 30% of the shares. But Sean is not interested in money, and his natural inclination is to find excitement, so he decisively rejects all offers. At night, Sean received a text message that said, "Believe me, this is your only chance." Such arrogant words aroused Sean's curiosity. He came to the meeting place as promised. The other side is a Mediterranean uncle. He sought Sean to complete an impossible task: invade the world's most closely guarded place, Royal Bank of Spain. The bank is located opposite the army. The interior is equipped with 200 all-weather dead-angle cameras, 25 armed guards, 24-hour patrol, and the head of security is a retired commander-in-chief of counterterrorism. But these are only on the surface of the line of defense. The most frightening thing is that the Royal Bank's underground vault was built in 1943. When it first appeared, it shocked the world because of its ingenious construction, and for more than 70 years, countless masters have sunk here. The reason why the Mediterranean approached Sean is precisely because of his architectural talent, wanting to get the 3 gold coins in the royal vault, because it is related to a clue to a great treasure. Sean is a man who likes excitement and was soon impressed by the Mediterranean's description and wanted to challenge this so-called impossible mission. In order to ensure the success of the mission, in addition to Sean, the Mediterranean also found a few top experts. The blonde beauty Rose, with beautiful appearance, but is a great thief, and she can steal things at an instant. Fury, one of the amphibious special operations team members, holding breath for 10 minutes is a piece of cake to him. Big Beard is like a live map. So far there is nothing he cannot get. Fatty, who looks like a fat geek, is actually a top hacker. Snapping his fingers and the bank security will be easily taken. The Mediterranean, as the organizer, is responsible for the overall deployment of the operation. Before the start of the operation, in front of them is 2 major problems. One is that the physical structure of the underground vault is unknown. Rashly breaking in is like suicide. The second is, to open the vault door must have 2 keys and competent fingerprints at the same time. So what will these capable people do next? She pretended to visit the bank president as a treasure hunter. She pretended to shake hands with the president, but smoothly handed the paper cup to the head of security, and easily got his fingerprints. Then she reached the governor's office, took out the lamp, and aimed at the famous painting, began to scan. Fatty behind the scenes also immediately began to cooperate. They slowed down the video they recorded in advance 10 times, replacing the original bank surveillance, creating the illusion that Rose is seriously checking the painting. But she took out a stethoscope, opened the safe in the president's office and took out a key from it. After scanning data back to the rear and using a 3D printer to copy an identical key, she put the key back in its original position. But then the president suddenly entered the office. At this time the replaced video still has 20 seconds. If Rose did not hurry to stand back to the original position, the security guards in the monitoring room in a moment will find something wrong. Luckily, she has a great idea. She asked the president to stand in the doorway to help him take a picture of the work, while she took the opportunity to return to the original position. In this way, the first key was in hand without any danger. At the same time, the other side of Sean, accompanied by cleaners into the bank, he went to the conference room. Lying under the table with the scanner, began to detect the underground vault structure, but who knows, a group of bank executives came here for a meeting. One of them dropped the document on the floor. Once he bent down to pick it up, the Sean will unfortunately be exposed. Suddenly, the deafening alarm sounded, and the people in the conference room quickly evacuated. On the other hand, Rose has just finished copying the second key and is about to return it to its place when the president urges her to evacuate. It's too late to hesitate. Rose can only follow the president and contact Sean through her headset to meet him at the stairs, and Sean took the key and ran back to the office, luckily restoring it to its original state. So, with a tight plan and the crowd's extraordinary acting skills, the key, fingerprints are in hand. One of the 2 major problems is to hand in a perfect answer, but the remaining one, how to crack the vault structure, is the real test faced by the crowd. The physical defense of this bank is up to 280. Opposite the bank is the troop quarters. Once the alarm is raised, the bank will be surrounded by troops in a moment. The bank's interior is heavily monitored and patrolled by guards 24 hours a day, and each line of defense has a retired anti-terrorist commander-in-chief who is personally in charge. However, the most terrifying thing is its underground vault is equipped with a huge water storage tank. Once someone breaks in, the relentless flood will drown all ambitions. The way to trigger is not a high-tech sensor, but the weight. The entire vault is built on top of a huge scale. Once the items above change, whether 1 gram more or less, will trigger the mechanism. In order to crack this vault, Sean is very tired, until a glance at the bar, he saw the bartender to put the liquid nitrogen to a glass. His inspiration bursts. Sean prepared a scale, put a glass of water on it, slowly injected water, the needle went to about 600 grams, then removed the glass of water. He took the liquid nitrogen spray to the scale. Under the low temperature, the internal structure of the scale was completely frozen. He put the glass of water again and the needle did not change. The last problem was also solved, and the operation officially began. They picked a good day, the opening day of the World Cup. This day the surveillance around the bank will be called. Fans from all over the world would attract a large number of police force. This provided a perfect opportunity to them, but there was only 105 minutes. In accordance with the predetermined plan, they would infiltrate from the top of the bank and then climb to the entrance of the vault along the pipes, where there is a bottomless cliff, but this cannot stop their steps. They have long been ready to use the tools to put together a ladder, carrying the opposite bank and successfully get through to the vault door. They took out the model keys and fingerprints, turned the dial, and easily opened the steel door. Big Beard underneath began to spray the liquid nitrogen. Gradually, the monitoring part began to freeze. Sean tried to walk up, and indeed the needle did not change in the slightest. At this time there are only 10 minutes from the end of the game. They did not dare to delay, and finally at the last moment to find the gold coins. But then Fury took out his gun and pointed it at Rose, asking she to hand over the gold coins. It turned out that he is a mole. But this time the freezing time of liquid nitrogen has reached the end. The weight change triggered the alarm and the system automatically closed and began to release water. Fury with coins was not afraid at all. He took out the submersible and slip away. The stone vault within the water is about to diffuse over the head of Sean. He frantically thought about how to survive. Since the vault can release water, it must be able to drain, and the key to release water is the weight, but drainage must also be related to the weight. Thinking about this, Sean commanded Big Beard to let him pile all the liquid nitrogen bottles on the scale until finally the whole man sat on it. Sean succeeds. The vault began to drain, and the security chief thought the intruders had been eliminated, but when he arrived, he found the place was empty. On the other hand, Sean and the others escaped down the pipe to the street, blended in with the fans and disappear again. Afterwards, they gathered again. Sean was still remorseful for the defection of Fury, but the Mediterranean released a faint smile. It turns out that he had anticipated that Fury will betray them. He prepared in advance 3 fake gold coins to Rose. What Fury grabbed are the forgeries. Since they got the original coins, Fatty deciphered the information left on the gold coins, which are 3 new bank coordinates. There must be a lot of difficulties to get the treasure. Well, that's the end of the story. I'll see you next time.